I moved out for 3 weeks to my parents' house because our marriage wasn't working out. We needed to take some time apart. And after 3 weeks, we got home. She wasn't home. Kids missed their house, and after half an hour, she came home. So I helped her with the grocery. We were in the kitchen, and I started talking with her because I knew there was something wrong. Like the energy, the vibe. When I talked to her, she didn't look at me. She would look downward. And then it came to the point where I'm like, hey, I'm moving back in. And she's, no, you can't. 10 minutes later, I hear a knock on my front door. I open up the doors and there's a sheriff. We receive a call from your wife, and she said that she doesn't feel safe at home. And so I'm like, okay. So she took her on the side, they took me on the side. We both had a conversation, and then the police officer was like, one of you just gotta leave. So I'm like, I'm gonna leave. But it was so crazy. I have this vivid image in my mind. My daughter's 4, my son is 8. And so I kneeled down, got myself down to their level, and my 4-year-old daughter just gives me this bear hug, and she starts crying, Daddy, don't leave, Daddy, don't leave. Then my son runs down the stairs and gives me the hug. At that moment, I felt like a statue. Like I didn't know what was happening. Like I was in shock, literally. Then I'm walking out those doors, and here comes this voice inside you. You are a failure. You're not enough. You are a loser.
When we lose the battle with the voices, at this point the whole world got swept out and we don't know what to do. And the mind is telling you the best solution, I'm out. Because it's like there's 700,000 suicides every year. And a lot of them are because of the divorce. Either men or women that don't know how to deal with the demons and with the voice of not enoughness. I'm a failure, I'm the loser, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, how am I gonna find anybody else? It's funny, it's none of it was true. We create those voices and we believe in it.
Welcome to Master Your Inner Wealth podcast with your host, Jarek Tadla, where we dive deep into the art of building financial freedom from the inside out. Together, we'll uncover practical strategies, real-life success stories, and expert insights to help you master your inner wealth and create the life you've always wanted. So let's get started.
Hi guys, welcome to Jarek Tadla Inner Wealth podcast. Today we have Marcin Łapczynski. We're going to say in Polish, Łapczyński, not in English. That's how we say it. He is a dear friend of mine, and he's also a divorce coach. So he helps a lot of guys and girls and men, well, men and women, going through the journey of divorce. And, he's going to share his own journey. So, Marcin, let's start with you. How did it happen? Like, how is this, like, you just woke up one day and I'm going to be divorce coach, or you're going to help people with struggling with the divorce, or how did it happen?
It's a good question, and thank you, Jarek, for having me on. I really do much appreciate it because we really do got to spread the awareness and share our stories. So you know what? It didn't happen overnight or anything. Long story short, I was born in Poland at the age of 12. I came to United States, and Chicago has been my hometown, and have been living there for 25 plus years.
I gotta have you move here, Florida, man. Chicago's too cold.
Oh my God! A couple of days ago, it's been like 7 degrees. It's been freezing. Yes. So my whole journey started, when we came to the United States. My parents, 2 younger brothers, and so on. And as you know, for us, for Polish immigrants, to acclimate here, not having any family, it's super difficult, especially, not speaking the English language and so on. My dad was a bricklayer all his life, and my mom used to work as an accountant and so on. So it was a little bit harder for them to get jobs over here, but finally my dad was able to get a job in construction. My mom was a mechanical assembler in a factory and so on. So, once we got settled and so on, we went to school. I always wanted to go to college, get a degree. So I love troubleshooting, repairing things. Electronics was my thing. I love it till this day. So once I got into college and so on, started dating. And I met my former wife at the age of 18. We met in high school. And
High school sweethearts.
High school sweethearts. High school sweethearts. That's when the whole journey started. And you know what? She and I, we had good careers. We traveled. We did a lot before, we got married and so on. So we were together for 3 years total. And then later, you know how it is with our Polish tradition that, hey, you know what? No sleeping together until marriage, blah, 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 and just so on. So we got married and so on. We purchased our first home. And
what were you doing then? Like what?
So what I was doing, I was electronic repair technician.
Got it.
That's what I was doing. I got my associate's degree in computer electronic engineering technology and so on. So that's what I was doing. And I was working in a factory. We used to build electronics for Caterpillar and so on. So then what happened is, after we got married, we bought our first home, as we travel, we did things before, hey, we wanted to have children. We always want to have 2 kids, boy and a girl. So we did. So in December 2010, our son Aiden was born. And then in December 2014, my daughter Victoria was born. And so on. So as you know, no one really teaches you how to be a husband, how to be really a father, right? You learn or you take
through the journey, right?
Through the journey, right? From your parents.
Never thought, we model our parents, but you are not like you. It's like it is what it is.
Right.
Let's wing it.
That's how it was, right? Where basically, we got accustomed to, hey, you work, you come home, take care of the kids, cook, clean, the daily routine. Like for us men, hey, you do the work outside the house, cut the grass, bushes, fix anything that breaks down and stuff like that. And so on. So life was good, but then now when the kids come into our life, as you know, that intimacy, that love fades away a little bit because, hey, we're not spending as much together as we should. Hey, there is no more, as often date nights or dinner nights and things like that. We're now, hey, I'm tired, right? Where you go to sleep, you kiss each other and you face each other with your back and so on. And that's how we have fallen into this routine of the same habit over and over. And, unfortunately, it didn't work out, right? We divorced. We were together for 15 years, married for 12 years. And you know what? I was the first one in my family to ever go through a divorce. And how did it all happen to what I believe is we got married young. I was 21, she was 20.
So everything you ever believed, it just boom, explode.
It did. It went by so fast where, I was really blindsided by this whole thing where it came to the point where, my former wife was like, why don't we take some time apart? So it was about this time of the year where Christmas and New Year, so usually I have my kids for Christmas break and for New Year. So I moved out for 3 weeks to my parents' house because, our marriage wasn't working out. We needed to take some time apart. So I did. And then, so basically there was no contact, no emails, text message, no phone calls or anything in between me and my former wife. And after 3 weeks, it was January 1st, 2nd, I was going back to work. Kids were going back to school. It was Sunday evening. And around 5 p.m., we got home. We came in, walked in, parked the car in the garage, walked in, pitch black, pitch dark. She wasn't home. So, kids missed their house, right? They missed sleeping in their own bed. So they ran in, flipped all the light switches on and things like that. And after half an hour, she came home and she went out grocery shopping. So I helped her with the grocery. We were in a kitchen at the countertop, right? We were taking apart the groceries, putting them away and so on. And I started talking with her because, hey, I missed my wife, right? I haven't talked to her for 3 weeks or anything. But you know what? I knew there was something wrong. Like the energy, the vibe. Like when I talked to her, she didn't look at me. She would look downward. And then it came to the point where I'm like, hey, I'm moving back in. And she's like, no, you can't. And I was shocked. Like, what do you mean I can? I'm paying mortgage, I'm paying bills and all those different things, right? And, 10 minutes later, I hear a knock on my front door. So I open up the doors, and there's a sheriff at my door, at my front door. I'm like, hey, how can I help you? We received a call from your wife, and she said that she doesn't feel safe at home. And so I'm like, okay. So she took her on the side, they took me on the side. We both had a conversation, and then the police officer was like, one of you just got to leave. So I'm like, I still have my luggage unpacked from my parents' house. It was, still by the front door and so on. So I'm like, I'm going to leave. But it was so crazy. And then she's like, why don't you say goodbye to your kids? So I have this vivid image in my mind. It was in the middle of a kitchen. So my daughter's 4, my son is 8. And so I kneeled down, got myself down to their level. And my 4-year-old daughter just gives me this bear hug, and she starts crying like, "Daddy, don't leave. Daddy, don't leave." Then my son runs down the stairs and, gives me the hug because he's like, he doesn't know what's going on, so he's hugging me as well. So at that moment, I felt like a statue, like numb. Basically, I was there physically, but like I would black out. I would just leave my body for a second. Like I didn't know what was happening. Like I was in shock, literally. And then, when I came back, she's pulling them off. Your father's got to leave. Your father's got to leave. And then I'm walking out those doors, and here comes this voice inside you. You are a failure, right? You're not enough. You are a loser. Where am I going to go, Jarek? Where am I going to go? Like, I have no place to go. I am being, just thrown out. I'm not wanted by my best friend in my own home. So thank God that I had my parents here. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise, if I had no parents over here, where would I end up? Homeless, under the bridge, or probably I would not be here today speaking with you. So that's how it all led to it. When that happened,
And this is how, I just want to let the audience know, when we lose the battle with the voices, we are here. That's why we're sharing the message, because I'm big about mental health and suicide awareness. And, like you said, at this point, the whole world got swiped out and we don't know what to do. And the mind is telling you the best solution, just I'm out. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so then what happened then? Like now you're here, you're sharing the message, you coaching people going through divorce, so we don't lose. So, because it's like, there's 700,000 suicide every year. And a lot of them are because of the suicide of the divorce, because a lot of either men or women, they don't know how to deal with the demons and with the voice of not enoughness. Yes. I'm a failure. I'm the loser. I'm stupid. I'm ugly. How am I gonna find anybody else? I was the first divorce. When my first divorce happened, I was the first divorcing family as well. You know what I mean? And the shame and the guilt. It's like, how do I look at And it's funny. It's none of it was true. We create those voices and we believe in it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and then what happened? Like now you hear, 5 years later, and we hear and helping others. So it's like,
yeah, it's it's crazy though. How did it all happen, right? Because in the beginning phases is you're basically numb. The outside world doesn't exist. The only world that exists is inside your head, the voice and you. Like I would go to meetings, but I would didn't know how I got home or anything, because like you said, that voice inside it just doesn't shut up. It's on 24/7. I would cry myself to sleep. I had suicidal thoughts, but you know what really have saved me is my daughter's voice. Daddy, don't leave. That would have saved me, because you know what? That voice has told me like, how would I feel if my 4-year-old daughter would cry herself to sleep every night because her daddy's not there? So that's that. And then first couple months, when you go to this transition period.
Walk us through the numbness. If somebody is experiencing the numbness, like tell us like the feelings and the emotions that goes through your head when because it's hard. Like when I try to explain it, like it's you physically somewhere in the room, but you're not there.
Yes.
It's just like, you get distracted a little bit. Oh, by the way, I'm here. And there's like, but you kind of like the inner dialogue. It's kind of like, and it's a negative dialogue. It's nothing positive. And it's like, for me, it was the experiences they had nothing to do even where I'm at, like with the divorce or with the pain that I'm going through. It's just like I was finding stuff from 20, 30 years ago. I was like, what the fuck? What is this? Like, why I'm thinking about it? And then I have to like snap out of it. It's like, oh, I'm here. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, what happens is like, see, I didn't know about that thoughts, about that story, that inner voice, the inner dialogue, because something happens is basically, hey, now we used to be best friends. Now we're enemies, fighting in the battlefield, destroying each other emotionally and financially. Right. And, for us, for many parents out there, especially single dads out there listening, is the hardest part for me was, not seeing my children every single day. The way we had it, our parenting schedule set up was every other weekend because with my full-time job, I just couldn't have 50-50, right? So I have to wake up early, go to work, and so on. So every other weekend would work better for me. But you know what, for me is how the whole journey started is, like you have said, I was ashamed, right? I was a failure. I didn't want to talk or tell people that I'm going through divorce because we had it all. We had beautiful home, we traveled. Hey, this happy, successful couple, they're divorced, right? And I was ashamed. I didn't want to talk about it or anything. So on the inside, I was struggling. I was emotionally battling. I was so emotionally overwhelmed where I didn't know what to do with myself, right? So I went on Google and I started searching, like, how do I get to the divorce? And first thing, what I really share with every single one, there's a book by Lewis Hayes. It's called The Powers Within You. That book has really, really
The book is here, for sure. This is a gorgeous book.
It's it has helped me so much because that was one thing. And the other one too, Les Brown. So every day to work and from work on YouTube, I would listen to his...
What is the second one?
Les Brown.
Les Brown.
I would listen to his motivational speeches.
Oh, got it.
So now I started to surrounding myself hey, about these successful people. They talk about goals. They talk about those different things, And what got me, really pissed off is because I was angry at myself, at the whole world, at God. Why me? Why did this happen to me? I would work, come home, sit on the couch, watch TV, see everybody's living a good life, successful life, and I'm this fucking loser. I'm this, you have this nasty voice that you're nobody, you're a piece of shit, all those, you're not deserving. Look at, she's got this, she's got that, and you don't know what to do. You want different results in your life, but you keep doing the same thing over and over, right? I didn't have the tools, I didn't have the knowledge, right? So what I did, everyone started talking about goals. So it was this time of the year, January, mid-January. So I'm okay, I'm going to do goals for myself. So basically, when we go through the divorce, I have lost my self-identity. I didn't know who I was.
That's huge. That's huge. But when you realize you lost self-identity, when you lost the identity of being a husband and being a father, full-time father, because we are, but you know what I mean? We're full-time fathers, but you did not see the kids full-time. That's what I meant. When you realize, because this is not when this is, I just want to make sure that this is like at least to me, Marcin, I didn't realize all this stuff I'm going through. I figured out later when I did all the work. When we're doing the work, then we realize that that's why you're coaching people going through the process, right? So people realize when I was how do you explain to people they're losing identity? Because that's to me personally was that was the biggest pain. I'm the father, I'm the husband, who am I in the society? And then even though I'm Jarek Tadla, I never, you know what I mean? We are who we are, but we assign the identity to ourselves, and we believe it, and then it's. Am I on there because you're smiling? So I like
you're good. You're good. I like where we're going because you know what, self-identity, what it means, to me, how I felt is I had no sense of existence. I had no purpose in life. I didn't know what I want in my life. I didn't know where I was going or anything, right? So I was very shy. I was very ashamed. I was introverted, right? With this, for me, like I said, it was just work.
You would not do this shit 5 years ago.
I would not do this shit. I would not do this 5 years ago.
Me neither. Just believe me.
Right.
And now I'm sharing the world, the pain, emotional struggles, mental shit. It's
yeah. So that's how it all started. I have written down my goals. First, now I still remember to this day. I'm you know what? I want to get better at public speaking.
But how did you shut down the voice? The ruminating and how did you shut down the voice?
The
voice. I was shut the fuck up, shut up.
So that was the big battle, right? I couldn't do it in the beginning. I didn't have the tools. I didn't know much about us humans, how we function. So how it all started is I invested in myself first in Les Brown. He had a program called The Power Voice. And through this, it was a 3-month program, and I have learned about the power of storytelling. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal, because you know what, too? Because when we go through divorces, we think that we are the only ones.
Okay, but you're talking because I just want to make sure that we don't skip the step. Because you already when did you make a decision? Because you said like you want to do the public speaking, you want to help people to share your story, share your pain, and so people don't have to go through it. Give them shortcuts how to go through it quickly, not as painfully as you did or like I did. But when I just want to talk, like I want to go back a little bit. When the threshold happened, when there's like the fuck it, like I gotta get out. I want to go out there. I want to share it. I don't want anybody to. Like when that happened, like I wanted. Go ahead.
That's where I'm going.
Go ahead.
Yes, yeah. So it all started with Les Brown, right? I learned about the power of the storytelling, and I thought that I was the only one in the whole world going through divorce. But when I heard other people's stories,
This is exactly it. That's why we doing this shit. We the only one. There's so many divorces, but
Yeah.
I'm the only one.
yeah, that's because I was just so cut off from the whole society, right? I was just so much in my head. So I'm like, okay, I can make a difference. So through Les Brown, I have met another coach. You probably heard about Bob Proctor 2 years ago. He already passed away.
Of course.
So what happened is, okay, Les Brown helped me. But then, when he worked together, Les Brown and my coach, John Tellerico, they worked together, right? And they said that, hey, they can do this for you. You can have this life. You can become anybody that you want in your life, and you can have whatever you want in your life, right?
So change the identity and change just go who
Right.
you are. And
So what's it called? So all I had after we sold our home, pay off our debt, I had $8,000 left in my savings. Now, back then, Jarek, who taught us? I didn't know anything about coaching. I'd never heard of it. Never heard about coaching or anything, right? So then it just I scheduled like a consultation, 45-minute consultation with what would it take to work with the coach and so on. And she's like, hey, I'm gonna tell you the price, but it's don't be shocked. So she did. It was $7,500 for a 6-month program. And I never in my life invested in myself that much money, right? Because
that's huge.
It's for me it was all of it. But I'm like, if I want change in my life, I want to do something different. So it was January 1st, 2021. I have it on my vision board. I wrote down the envelope. I had monthly payments and so on. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going all in. I'm going to bet all my chips, on myself. And you know what? That was one of many best decisions that I have done for myself. So in this 6-month program, that's where it all happened. That inner voice, the negative. So I learned how to, set goals. I learned about our subconscious mind, conscious mind. I learned about our voice. I learned about our identity, how to rebuild your self-image.
Do you think everybody got to go through it in order to heal, in order to find themselves and cover the pain and recover quickly?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I would say, you know what?
Because I definitely think yes. But what happened is a lot of us are I'm not talking you, but I didn't know how to ask questions. So I didn't even know what I need to do. So it's just like you are just telling, right now, you're just telling the audience the shortcut to it. I mean, there's a shortcut. Like you giving people, like right now, you're giving a Bible, like a playbook. Like here what you do. Go ahead.
So after the 6-month program, there was a transformation for me. I have rebuilt my self-image.
I like the new Marcin. I definitely love this new Marcin.
Thank you. You know what? Back then, I didn't know what self-confidence was or anything. I have rebuilt my self-confidence. I have rediscovered my purpose through this pain. I'm grateful to God right now for this. Because you know what? I read the book Think and Grow Rich. And Napoleon Hill said, hey, if there's a problem in our communities and societies, find a solution and make a business out of it. So I'm like, shit, you know what? This coach was able to transform my life. He was able to help me heal. I looked at the divorce statistics in the United States. Its first marriages are 48% divorce ratio. Second marriages is 80%,
Yep,
80%, and so on.
You're right.
And I'm like, holy shit, I have the key. I know how to break those generational curses. I can help people heal, and I can make a difference. And especially for us men out there. Because what happened is our society teaches us men to be strong, to be tough, not to shed a tear. But what is happening, right? We are emotionally self-destructing. We are living in emotional prison. We are not being ourselves. We are not, living art to the fullest potential.
I love the words you're using. Can you rephrase emotional prison?
Emotional, yes.
Because I love
yeah.
this word.
Yeah.
I love this word.
And you know what? So after that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna open up my own coaching business.
But describe emotional prison.
Okay, so emotional prison is basically, you are stuck in your own thoughts, in the story that you tell yourself, all the limits, all the garbage, everything that you have gone through your life, the way you have been conditioned, the environment that you have grew up in. This is you are in this emotional prison because you know what also too is like you have written a book, Not Enough, right? So that's one of them, because if you look at other successful people and look at like, hey, Jarek, look how he's successful, but you know what? But you tell yourself, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, right? I don't look good, I cannot do that, I cannot do that. This is your prison, right? It just those negative thoughts, the negative story.
And I love the word you said, emotional prison. I was doing a podcast. I think it was my second or third podcast, and I didn't realize the words like that's. So I started using those words. That's why it's connected with me, because this guy got 16 lives, and the way he found in the prison, he found himself. He found the inner world, and the way he was talking about the chess and about the people he's helping in the prison, he was free. He was living in a 6x6 jail, and he was the happiest person. He was free. And we were sitting, and we in the kitchen it's a huge mansion, 50-foot ceilings, and I'm like, it's Corey Jacobs, Kevin, you know him, and I'm sitting like, motherfucker, I'm living in emotional prison. I look at I get goosebumps. Yeah. I'm like, I have everything. I'm free, and I'm like, and that's how I create the emotional prison. Yeah. But that's what my awakening that we created, like he was free in actual prison. He was happy, he was fulfilled, he found a purpose, and he found abundance living in a cell. And I have everything, and I'm miserable because I'm a slave of my own thoughts. And I come out and I was like, this is emotional prison. And it's funny now he's saying that. And we never talk about those. So I love it how he said it.
And then also to what I would like to add as well is talk about a little bit about forgiveness. Because many times I see that individuals, they don't forgive. And every single day, instead of just living in a current moment, they are reliving the past. And we are not living an authentic life. We're not. Because we live in these emotional prisons. And that's where I come in, right? I help my clients, I help them heal, rebuild, rediscover themselves. And, I shared that one person in my life have extracted the gifts, the talents, the potential that I didn't even know I had within me. That, you talk about this going through pain, right? That pain gives you this fuel.
Sure.
Where you rediscover yourself, where you're now on a mission, where you're limitless, where you are unstoppable.
Yeah. That's exactly it. But it also took me because use the pain as a fuel. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, I this is painful. I don't want to feel it. And it's hard to, because what happened is you build this shit around you and you got to take brick after brick, brick after brick, brick after brick. You know what I mean? And it's like, you said it also that you think you're alone. But when you lock yourself, again, I love the word emotional prison, you are alone. But truly, you're not alone. There's many, many people that goes through the same process and can even find a coach like you to help you, guide you. It's like, listen, it's gonna hurt as fuck, no matter what. But let's make the process a lot, number one, enjoyable. You know what I mean? And learn and just help others. I was the people was like, Jarek, I don't want to live anymore. And I'm like, okay, I got it. It's like, I have nothing to share. I'm like, okay, share the story. Share the story with somebody else. Because there's always somebody else got a lot worse shit than you think you do. You know what I mean? Because this, when we're going through the pain, when we're going through the same process, we thought our shit is the most painful shit. Right. This is the worst of the worst. Until you hear somebody else's story. This is what I was complaining about? What? Like this guy does this, and I'm like, so sharing the story, it's just let us get out of the prison. You know what I mean? So
No, it is, like many times I also do public speaking as well. I travel and I'm in a mental health awareness as well. And, a lot of women out there, because they always ask me, like I work with other coaches, divorce coaches as well, and they invite me to their groups to speak to their clients, to females, because they want to know what we men go through. Because they always see on the outside that, hey, he's fine, he looks good, he looks happy, but no one really sees the inside world that we live in, right? And you and I, we talked about it. I remember when we had the conversation, like how we have been taught is we have all these six senses, how we live from outside in instead of living from inside out, right?
That's exactly what happened. When there was when the wake up call, when did you realize that the life doesn't happen from outside in, from inside out? Because for me I was always looking for validation from outside world to validate who I am, and my inner world was empty. And then I switched around, and it's like when I build this stuff here, the abundance came. What was your wake up call? Like, because I realized when I had a ski accident when I was 46 years old, I'm 46 years old. My emotional intelligence, it's zero. I have no idea like this shit exists. I got lucky through life. So even it's funny, like my ski accident prepared me for divorce. Divorce prepared me to losing my kids. And it's like the bad experiences happened. How was for you? Like when you just kind of like,
for me, when I was doing a lot of healing, when I was doing a lot of inner work, when I have rediscovered self-love.
Okay, there you go. Yes. Okay,
That's
we gotta talk inner work and self-love. There you go.
Yeah,
I love it, guys.
You know what?
This is huge. Because tell people, well, inner work. Well, do the work, inner work.
Right.
Shut up, Jarek. What is inner work?
Right. Yeah.
Tell the inner work.
The inner work is, I ask a lot of people before I even meet them and talk to them, or I do this exercise with my clients. Like, if you put a mirror in front of you, look into the mirror, and can you tell yourself that, hey, I love you? That's one. Or would you go out on a date with yourself right now?
Fuck you.
You would.
Before, no, I wasn't. Dude, Marcin, I was for 6 months, and I'm not joking. Like, Marcin, for 6 months, I was shaving without even looking in the mirror. But there was the shame and the guilt. I was but what happened is this is the voices. So I was shaving, and I would not look at myself. You know what I do right now? I shave today, motherfucker. I'm gonna take care of you. I love you, fucker. I'm gonna put a good foot in you. We're gonna work out. I'm gonna kick your ass a little bit, and then I'm gonna, spread some love. And, talk to people, and it's like, I'm gonna take care of you. And it's like, it started guess what happened? And I'm like, I'm handsome, motherfucker.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, you are, fucker.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
and that's what it is. Like, self-love, it's an inside job.
Yep.
It is an inside job, right? It's the inner dialogue, the story, the voice, the conversation. I don't know if you knew this or not. I
say it again. You got, dude. I love it, man. Guys, self-work is inside job. Love it. It's an inside job,
and it's ongoing, and it's ongoing every single day. And
dude, thank you, man. I was like,
hey,
shit, this is...
you know what, Jarek? Because I am so grateful for all the people that have helped me in my life, that I invested in myself, that I went all in, because I have developed morning routine, evening routine. I have developed habits, because I can tell you, and I'll give you an example. Because if you stop those routine, if you stop doing those habits, you're going to go back to your old self. This is just how our mechanism is set. So
what you're saying for anybody struggling right now is just get out of the old routines and just develop new routines, because you got to bury the old you. And you got to bury this motherfucker, put him to the 6th, 12th grade down, and just reborn new thing. And start new routines, and even if you don't know how, just do it, and don't reach back. Yeah. It's funny when I'm struggling emotionally, sometimes I lose the temper, I mean, we are work in progress, you know. And it's funny, I take the old Jarek, like, you know, okay, dude, I need you to fight the shit up, man. I need you. Then he comes out, fuck the shit up. I was like, go back to work. Reborn.
So you know what? When we talk about this is because now for us it's easier, but somebody brand new that is starting the journey is the way I teach, coach my clients to go through the in a most easiest, simple way is what's it called? Have a goal, right? Because look at what happens. Like when you have that goal, when you have that aim, you know about that stuff. Personal goal, professional goal, relationship goal. Because now if you are in point A, you're at current state. So now if I have this goal where I want to be this person.
But I want to be down loud devil advocate. Like, but I don't want to have goals.
So here is my thing, right? Do you want to change your life? Do you want to change the results that you're getting currently? Right? You really got to be open and honest with yourself. Do you want to continue living the life that you're living right now, or you want to live a different life?
I want to live different life, but I still want to hang with my friends. I still want to talk to those toxic people. I still want to get drunk on Friday. I still want to be hangover. I still want to watch football and drink 10 beers.
Well, then nothing's gonna change.
I don't want to read. I'm not a reader.
You know what? You cannot blame.
I don't want to work out. I hate gym.
So it's those are the choices. Those are the decisions that you make for yourself.
But you don't understand. I just like you know. I was married for 20 years and my wife just left me. You don't understand the pain I'm going through. I have 4 kids that don't talk to me. Do you understand that? I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I know, but you know what? That's why you look for support groups, you look for brotherhoods, and you join them because you need a support system.
Yes.
Because you cannot do this by yourself. There's no way. You don't have it in you. You need an accountability partner in your life. Somebody that's going to kick your ass.
This is huge.
You need someone.
This is exactly.
You need. There's no way on your own because you will procrastinate.
And you know the people that love you and the people that because even those people that are completely out of your bubble, there's zero emotional attachments because they don't know your story, and you don't have the shame and guilt. It's a lot easier to open up to somebody who is a stranger that go to your parents, go to the friend that knows you for 20 years. It's like, you know, because like, shit, he thinks of me this, and then I'm going to tell him the truth. And when you really step outside, find a tribe outside a support system, you know, because even a therapist or even just somebody to talk to, it will definitely give you different perspective. Absolutely. You know what I mean? This is huge. This is huge. But people people are scared to go outside. But I mean, you touching every single point. Like I feel like you were my coach. Talk about the tribe.
You and I, we have been through a very similar journey, right?
Which, by the way, we're going on to the dinner with my tribe after this podcast.
Yes, I'm super excited about that to meet your tribe.
Good.
You know, for me, what it was is, for example, what I would share is when I hired a coach, right? All the students that were part of the group, we would meet once a week for an hour, and we would have homework assignments. And for me not to do it, I would feel like a little bit ashamed, not putting in all the work. So that's why, you know what, also too, we would be put in groups. And then, hey, we would call each other and support. Hey, are you ahead? Are you behind? Or what support do you really need? And I'm telling you, it helps you so much with your personal growth, with your personal development, because you have somebody on your butt keeping you accountable. Because there is just so many distractions, as you know, right now. So many. Way too many distractions, because if you are not focused, and a lot of individuals have issues with focusing right now because they're just too distracting. A lot of individuals are just overwhelmed because we live in such a fast-paced society. Yeah. We got to do this, we got to do that, kids, family, all those different things. And when do we have time for me, for myself, right? How are you going to change? How is your life going to change if you're not going to invest in yourself? Right, you're talking about the mindset, right? We're talking about spirituality. We're talking about health and wellness, right?
Funny much. I always tell like people when I was doing Ironman, people were complaining about the weight, right? And I always tell them, hey, for 30 days, I need you to walk or run 10 minutes. Well, 10 minutes. Because if I told them like half an hour, they would not find the time. But I'm like, if you cannot freaking find 10 minutes for yourself, and then we're talking about now physical health. We're not talking about mental, emotional health, but we're talking physical health. Then there's something wrong with you. Because if you don't have 10 minutes for yourself, then what do you have? And the more pain you're going through, at least for me, the 10 minutes wasn't enough. But sometimes like the little steps, you don't have to stop, like, because you're giving like a handbook of everything what to do. You don't have to do everything, like, you know what I mean? We are freaking addicts, so we just do 120%, we go all in. But the second you get a feel for it, first start with the 10 minutes. The second you get a feel for it and you see the results, then you're gonna go all in, a lot quicker and stronger.
Yeah. Really good book for our audience who is listening out there. It's called The Compounding Effect.
Hell yeah.
Read it.
Compound pain, compound interest, compounding effects. Like this is like, compound is everything. And I talk a lot about compound pain. Because what happened is, and let's see if you can relate to that. It's, what happened is when you went through the breakthrough, what happened to me, I'm like, there's no way I have so much pain. But what happened, it was the emotional body pain that I carried for so many years when I was a little, when I was 8, when I was 10, when I was 15, when I was 20, 30, 40. And then when something else happened, like, where's all this pain coming from? But we neglected all the pain. I was putting all the pain. I'm good. I'm a man. I'm not crying. I'm not going to share. I was putting all the pain under the carpet, but the pain stays in your body. And it compounds. Like the book Compound Effect, it compounds. So then when it just blew out, Like I didn't know how to deal with that. Yeah. Give it like 5 things, like must to do when you're going through the hard. It doesn't have to be breakup, but hardship, something you're struggling in life, mentally, emotionally. Give it 5 must to do. I mean, you cover all of them. Yeah. I mean, pretty much, like not all of them. I mean, we just started. We have only 45 minutes, an hour. But just give it like a brief shortcut, on the end of the podcast, and then tell us everybody, like, how can everybody find you and everything else.
Yeah. So first thing I would do, get a coach or a mentor / accountability partner. That's one thing, right? For me too, what I haven't mentioned is for straight 2 years, 5 days a week, I would go to the gym. I would work out because that would be my escape world. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't just focus about it. I would just focus on working out. So that's what really is. So coach, working out, invest in yourself. I would do support system, support group, brotherhoods are really good as well. Find a hobby, rediscover your purpose, your why, invest in yourself, and work on your mindset. I would say that as well, because
get out of the emotional jail, emotional prison.
Jail, yes.
Get out of it.
And like when you talk about emotions, all those stored emotions too is. That's huge as well, because the book says, and Louise Hayes, when she writes the books, to look at many women that have breast cancer, right? Because there's a lot of resentment from years that have been compounded, and then your body is like a plumbing system, right? If you just keep storing it, something will blow up, something will explode, right? So this is what's happening with our emotions, right? If we don't release those emotions, especially for us men, when we go through divorce, hatred, jealousy, resentment, you have every single feeling, emotion, negative that you can think of. And what I have learned too is, that's how I was able to release and forgive, because forgiveness is your key to freedom, is that, because I was so angry and upset at my ex, I would have stomach knots when I would see her and things like that. But I'm like, she talked about everything's energy. What you put out, it's going to come back, boomerang. So I'm like, wow, I don't want to do this. Basically everything that I was bad-mouthing her or having this different energy.
But are you talking about forgive her or just forgive yourself also?
Myself.
Exactly.
Myself.
Yes.
Because otherwise, you know what? You will live in this resentment, jealousy, and hatred. And, and here we go.
And
again.
you just become a victim of the circumstances.
Absolutely.
And then you just take it and you start becoming sedated warrior. You start drinking, partying, or even just kind of just hiding and it's gonna get worse and worse, and the process is a lot longer, and suddenly you might lose the battle in your voice and do something stupid that you will regret it.
Absolutely, 100%, you're spot on. What it is, like addiction, drug, alcohol, sex, all those different things, is you're just This is just, you're numbing yourself, you're escaping. It's a temporary relief. That's all it is, right? We're not curing the root cause.
Exactly.
It's temporary.
We're putting band-aids.
That's it. That's all
Instead
it is.
of like, you got to open the wound, put a salt in it, feel the fucking pain and use the pain as a fuel so it can heal it. So we don't need those band-aids, those temporary supports. Marcin, thank you very much. I really appreciate everything we did here. Find Marcin on his Instagram, YouTube. Go ahead, tell where to find him.
So you guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn as well, under Marcin Łapczynski.
And Marcin speaks 2 languages, Polish and English.
Polish and English as well, yeah.
Okay.
So, you know what? I want to tell all the guys, women out there that you are not alone. We are here for you. Jarek, we have the whole support team. Don't hesitate to reach out. We got your back. We're all in this together. Like I said, you are not alone, and you are enough. You're an amazing father, mother, brother, sister. The world needs you. You are very gifted. You are very talented. And you know what? You never know who needs to hear your story so you can transform some other people's lives.
And everything you need is already within you.
Absolutely.
Don't be selfish. Share your story.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for listening. Leave your comments and subscribe for more insights and master your inner wealth.